Clackamas Women's Services is a pretty large organization, and we support families and their loved ones and the community when they've been impacted by domestic violence, sexual assault, elder abuse, and human trafficking. We have a number of programs: an emergency shelter and housing program. We're also located in the Family Justice Center of Clackamas County. We go out into all of the schools throughout Clackamas County and provide prevention programming. We have a children's program and a counseling program as well. It's been fascinating in this time because, our work as advocates and working directly with people impacted by violence, we're very relational. All of our work is sort of centered around that face-to-face connection and being supportive of people through really hard times and helping them heal from trauma. So to shift our model felt a little jarring at first, but we really quickly adjusted into it and actually realized that being able to do everything virtually was reducing some barriers for some people as long as we could get them the equipment that they needed to use. They no longer necessarily had to feed the kids and drive and take somebody to childcare just to get to a support group. They were able to jump online and do that pretty quickly. So that was really great.
We're still seeing people reaching out to our crisis line. We're still able to, help with the typical things we would help with in terms of protective orders and getting folks to safety and all of those pieces. And so while the venue has changed, it hasn't changed what we're providing to the community. We've actually seen an increase in folks being able to access parenting support, being able to reach out through the crisis line. We've added a service through our confidential chat line, and I think that has increased folks' ability to reach out for support. Being a confidential chat line, they can do that through their computer or through their phone without having to talk, and so that confidentiality kind of adds an additional service that folks are able to access during this time. When we're talking about domestic and sexual violence, it's an incredibly isolating experience for folks, and so when we're layering that on top of, now we have COVID, which is also isolating, I think that can create a lot of challenges for folks. And what we're seeing in the community is folks reaching out just with that increased isolation and some of that increased fear that, if folks are in the home with an abusive person. I think what we know about trauma survivors is that they're incredibly resilient, and they're amazing at, figuring out what their needs are and figuring out how to be really creative to create safety within their family. And so we have been able to, while we're reaching out to more folks and more folks are accessing us, I think they're coming in with so many tools.
We've been talking quite a bit as an agency about how we're going to continue all of these modalities as things begin to reopen. We've long wanted to do the telehealth for our counseling and to do more online work, but of course, we just haven't gotten there yet. And this crisis has given us that opportunity, and we're going to maintain those services in that way. And I think that's going to be just a wonderful way to reach more people.
There's been an increase in our ability to educate the community about the issues of domestic and sexual violence, how that impacts our neighbors, how that impacts our community members, the youth. What I've noticed and what I'm just truly grateful for, what makes me hopeful, is that because of that outreach, the community saying, we care about this issue and we really want to know how we can help. I think that is not only going to help us during this COVID pandemic, it's going to help us in the future too, to be able to, continue that community support. I think it really speaks volumes to survivors of domestic violence when the community is really saying, we see you and you matter. And that's a really important message to be sending to folks right now.